So I want to talk about what is the philosophy of frugal innovation, but also the core principles. I wanted to write this book for two reasons. First, I wanted to help businesses reconcile two conflicting goals: how to keep growing while also preserving and regenerating our planet. Second, I wanted to offer a wise middle path between two extreme ideas that are popular today: degrowth and exponential growth. Einstein said you can't solve a problem with the same mindset that created it. Likewise, I realized businesses can reconcile profitability and sustainability using the same mindset that created a conflict between the two. My book introduces a new mindset and a new economic system that I call a frugal economy that enables businesses to grow qualitatively better while having a positive impact on society and the planet. There are three key messages in my book. First, we cannot solve the climate crisis as long as we view it as a crisis. The best innovations don't come out of fear, but of hope. My book reframes climate crisis as a huge climate opportunity worth trillions of dollars. Second, we have a historic opportunity to build a new and better economy that truly benefits people, society, and the planet, and also can be profitable to businesses. Third, ESG is getting a bad rap today, but ESG isn't a bad word. My book shows how ESG can actually boost the profit and brand value of businesses. My book helps businesses address the needs and aspirations of customers today. Due to high inflation, customers are value conscious and seek products that are affordable. But customers are also values conscious as they expect brands to do good for society and for the planet. My book shows how businesses can develop and market products and services that are affordable, accessible, and sustainable. Blue Lake Rancheria is a Native American tribe in Northern California that worked with Siemens to implement a solar-powered microgrid that enables them to locally generate clean energy without depending on the utility grid. This microgrid helped the tribe save $200,000 a year in energy cost, create clean energy jobs, and achieve a net zero carbon target by 2030. In 2019, when the California electric grid was shut down to prevent wildfires, the Blue Lake Rancheria relied on the local microgrid to power the community. The lesson here is that as the world becomes unpredictable, if businesses and communities were to be resilient, they must harness local resources and produce goods and energy closer to where customers live. My book offers what management guru C.K. Prahalad called next practices. Best practices are proven tools and techniques you can use to be more competitive in an existing market. But next practices enable managers to identify major future opportunities and use cutting-edge tools to shape and lead entire new markets. In my book, you will find next practices to make your organization more agile and resilient, attract and retain top talent, and lead your industry in sustainability. A major insight from my book can be summarized in a punchline: waste nothing, reuse everything. Before your company buys something new, see if you can reuse what you already got. This will save you money and it's good for the planet since you don't throw away stuff. For instance, Alina Health is a healthcare group in the American Midwest that uses a digital platform called Reapply to identify medical instruments that already exist across the network of hospitals but are underutilized. By better reusing the existing material, this healthcare group is saving hundreds of thousands of dollars every year. The best way to engage with me is on LinkedIn. I am very active on LinkedIn. I publish new insights and examples on frugal economy on LinkedIn several times a week. I'm already working on my next book titled Conscious Society. I use many inspiring examples from around the world to show how we can build enlightened communities that value quality of life over quantity in life and empower all citizens to fulfill their spiritual, emotional, and material needs in a sustainable way. It's a very optimistic book that combines Western scientific knowledge and Eastern wisdom traditions to provide a blueprint to build wise societies that maximize human potential while respecting planetary limits. A frugal economy aims to do better with less, that is, create more value for all stakeholders while making the most of all existing resources. A frugal economy enables businesses to reconcile profitability and sustainability. It enables companies to make frugal use of scarce resources like water, energy, and land while creating more value for society. A frugal economy reframes the climate crisis as a major opportunity to do business differently and more profitably. In a capitalist economy, businesses compete ruthlessly. They accumulate resources selfishly, and they produce goods in big factories far away from where customers live, and they pollute heavily. In contrast, in a frugal economy, businesses cooperate extensively. They share the resources openly. They produce goods in smaller factories located close to customers, and they reduce massively their carbon emissions. Frugal businesses do good to people, communities, and the planet. The first principle of a frugal economy is sharing. You can share your physical resources like office space, factory capacity, vehicles, or equipment that are underused with other companies that need them. This will maximize the value of your own resources and help other companies avoid investing in new resources. Digital platforms like talent sharing platform in East England and marketplaces like yet2.com enables companies to even share their underused employees and intellectual property with other companies who desperately need them. The second principle of a frugal economy is distributing. Rather than centralize manufacturing in big factories located in China and then ship goods around the world, businesses must learn to produce goods closer to customers and by leveraging local resources. For example, Afiren is a biotech firm that operates a modest-sized factory in northeastern France that converts agricultural waste into high-value biomolecules used in cosmetics and nutrition. What is amazing is that all its European suppliers and customers are located within a 250-kilometer radius of its factory. The third principle of a frugal economy is regenerating. It's about going beyond sustainability and regenerating people, places, and the planet all together synergistically. For instance, Natura, a Brazilian cosmetics brand, works with Indian tribes in the Amazon to cultivate and extract sustainably the seeds of palm trees to earn more income, and it also regenerates the Amazon biodiversity. Today, we hear a lot about energy transition. That is, how cities and nations can shift from a fossil fuel based economy to a clean energy based one. But it's very difficult to get buy in for energy transition from citizens if they are not involved directly in it and they don't see clear social and economic benefits. That's why in Lausanne-Goël, a former mining town in France that suffered from economic distress, its mayor, Jean-François Caron, led what he calls a systemic transition, which has 5 dimensions: social, cultural, economic, ecological, and democratic. The mayor convinced local citizens to co-finance and co-implement sustainable projects like installing solar panels on public buildings, transitioning to organic farming, and creating an incubator for green startups. All this created a sense of ownership among its citizens. Today, these citizens feel proud to live in one of the most sustainable cities in Europe. This is the impact of systemic transition. B2B sharing is about sharing your idle and underused assets with other companies. This is common practice in emerging economies. In India, for instance, rival telecom operators share mobile phone towers. In Africa, vaccine makers piggyback on Coca-Cola's cold chain to distribute vaccines safely to remote villages. Now, B2B sharing is taking off in developed economies too. For instance, Seattle-based Flex wants to become the Airbnb for warehouses. Its platform enables US companies to share the excess warehouse space with other companies seeking storage space. Flex helped its clients save nearly $20 million in capital costs in 3 years and increase revenue by $50 million in just 1 year. In Europe, Flow2 is a digital platform that enables construction companies in Belgium to share the underused equipment. It also helps hospitals in the Netherlands share their medical equipment and services with each other. Avatar is a French startup that makes an electric car that weighs only 350 kilos, so it consumes 3 times less energy than a typical EV. But its real innovation is in its distributed manufacturing model. Avatar is made of 250 parts that can be easily assembled in a single day in a small workshop anywhere. Avatar's ambition is to create a network of microfactories across Europe, Africa, and emerging economies where local entrepreneurs can custom build and market its vehicles. By distributing their manufacturing and producing closer to customers in microfactories like Avatar does, businesses can save big on supply chain costs, reduce their ecological impact, and create economic opportunities in many local communities. Let me start with a B2B sharing example that has a big social impact. Civica RX is a nonprofit in the US that pools the purchasing power of over 1,500 hospitals across the US to produce their own generic drugs at lower cost. 60 million patients across the US have already been treated with Civica's low-cost medications. Now, let's look at an example of distributed manufacturing in the energy sector. GRDF is a leading European gas distribution operator. They are building what they call living labs across France and Europe. Each living lab involves citizens, farmers, and small businesses in the local community to develop effective ways to produce biogas and biomethane using locally sourced organic waste. Finally, the women's apparel firm Eileen Fisher is a great example of a regenerative business. Unlike fast fashion products, Eileen Fisher clothes last longer. It is investing in regenerative farming to produce responsible wool and cotton. It invests heavily in its employees' personal growth. It pays its Asian subcontractors above industry average. And it recycles all its used clothes and turns them into fashionable new products. The frugal economy will completely decentralize work, creating job opportunities beyond big cities like New York, San Francisco, London, and Paris. This will benefit small towns and left behind places like the American hinterland. My book shows this is already happening. For instance, Spark is an IT services company that employs skillful engineers in rural America who do IT work for big US companies. These rural engineers execute tech projects 4 times faster than offshore IT workers, cost 30% less than big IT consultants, and are nearly 30% more productive. Companies can jumpstart the journey in the frugal economy by implementing its core principles first within their own organization. For instance, before sharing their resources with other companies, they can start sharing them internally. This is what the energy company ENGIE did. They set up an internal B2B sharing platform called BV, which enables the sharing of industrial spare parts among various ENGIE business units. Today, 5,000 ENGIE employees across 24 countries use this internal sharing platform. The frugal economy offers a great opportunity for traditional companies to fight back digital disruption and reinvent their organization and value chains to win in the 21st century. Take Walmart, which is fighting Amazon for online retail dominance. Walmart is already known as a frugal retailer as they offer great products at low price every day. But today, as I show in my book, Walmart is quietly embracing the 3 principles of the frugal economy, namely sharing, local sourcing, and regenerating, to become the most sustainable retailer in the world. Like Walmart, you need to build a frugal organization that delivers value and values every day. The most frugal way to buy my book is on Amazon, as it offers you a big discount. And if you want to book me for speaking engagements, please contact Speaker Associates.